Yamkela, Steven brought you on as an incredible writer, a seasoned author, and an experienced publisher. What about this project resonated with you?
I think for me, when Steven mentioned rising from the township, firstly, we don't have a lot of books in South Africa on entrepreneurship, as in the stories of entrepreneurs. Most books are shipped from abroad, right? But the ones that we have that are South African do not talk about the story of the township. They don't talk about the role of the township in nation building, in the economy that we are in, you know. And so for me, I was like, I've never seen something like that before. And as an entrepreneur myself, I thought, actually, I myself want to learn from someone from the township who was raised in the township, who might have built their business in the township or maybe have gone outside of the township, but someone who looks like me that I can relate with, you know. And so for me, it was a huge gap in the publishing industry that we don't have a book like this, you know, and we needed to fill that gap for both entrepreneurs like myself and anyone else like out there, but also for my kids, for every young child to say, I've seen people like me doing it, you know, and they didn't just do it in their communities, but they built their brands to play a role in the economy and put their brand on an international stage.
Come on.
So that for me was a bestseller.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then in terms of, because from my understanding of you as an author and your history as an author, this was kind of like a first for you because the genres you've done before are quite different to this. So what were the challenges of writing a book like this, and what were, you know, the rewarding parts of it?
Yeah. So for the people who are in the room who don't know my other writings, most of my work, I was the main person in the work. So if it was a novel, it's my story. If it's a folklore book, it's me, right? And here I was writing about other people's stories. And I had to make a very long pause. And be like, wait, this is not going to be the same as everything else you've written. And for me, I had to, when I was listening to the interviews that Steven did, so Steven did the interviews, send them to me, I had to listen to them. I had to not just listen to the content that's on the interview, I had to kind of listen to the body language. How does this person talk? How do the nuances of their speech, right? And then I had to now go and watch some of their interviews, learn them, you know. I followed them on social media just to see how do they put themselves out there so that when someone is reading about Veronica, they feel like Veronica is sitting in front of them and they're having a conversation with her. And when they are reading about Nomso is playful, Nomso is full of jokes, but also very serious at times. So when you're reading Nomso's chapter, it's totally different from anyone else's chapter. When you're reading about Steven, so I needed to make sure that everyone comes out authentically themselves. And so most of the work happened before I even started writing.
I'm going to interject quickly because I was editing, right? So there'd be times when we would send to the storytellers and then they make some changes, you know, because they're like, I don't like how I sound here, whatever. And then they bring it back and then we're like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it like that. And it's like, yeah, it's because it's not your story, you first. So we really had to calm ourselves down. I remember there's a day where I said to her, Sisi, this is not the Yamkela and Kamu show. No. So we had to really, you know, pull ourselves further down and just come down. Be humble, sit down, focus on the entrepreneurs.